Hi friends, welcome back to my Bedition Candle Co channel, and today I will be pouring a lot of candles for a testing process. These are my fragrance oils that I'm getting from Aztec, and for the first time I will be checking the CDN5 wick in my 10th candle, so that will be interesting. As I mentioned in previous video, I got all of my wick setting tool and also the wick holders from Northern Candle Company, so I'm really happy with the quality. You can check by the way on their site if you're interested. I have one candle with a slightly different formula, so I have all of my information that I will be relying on my iPad. I have to make sure that I'm using the correct amount of fragrance oil and also the wax. Hello candle makers, I know how hard it can be when you're just starting with your candle journey and you have to think about all of the design and candle care cards and thank you care cards. So I want to share with you my Etsy shop. It has a lot of different digital products such as thank you care cards, wax melts care cards, and the thank you cards. I have a warning labels for your candles as well as for wax melts, and for those who's making a wax melt, you have a lot of mock-ups to choose from, and I have a 20% off discount for all of my subscribers, so you have my link in the description down below and you can check all of the products that you're interested in. So this is my parasol wax. I'm really enjoying to work with it. Before you're actually starting to pouring your candles, you have to make sure that your candle containers are clean from dust or dirt, but before that always remember to put your gloves on. So I'm creating not actually the labels, but I'm just taking my note paper and writing on them all of the required information for me. I'm including in these labels a date, the size of my wick, a fragrance oil, and the percentage of fragrance oil. And now this is the part that I love so much, to use my cool device. I really want to tell you that even if you're just a beginner and you're not actually opening your business yet, but you're making a lot of candles to test, you're trying to put your wicks 1 inch apart and it's so difficult for you, I genuinely recommend for you to just buy this cool setting tool and you will use it like forever. Always and all the time. So that's why you're making sure that your wicks are 1 inch apart and everything just looks perfect and fine. Also, I'm not leaving my wicks just the way they are. I'm trying to twist them a little bit, and that's the best way to prevent them become looser. And for now, because I'm only making tests and that's only 6 candles, I don't want to use my wax melter because it's unnecessary, so I will be using my electric plate. My wax is melted already and that's the perfect temperature. I'm adding the fragrance oil at between 88 to 90 degrees and in Fahrenheit it's 192. I don't know for how long I'm stirring my fragrance oil, but it takes from 1 minute to 2 minutes. My pouring temperature is 75 degrees and that's 166 in Fahrenheit. And to make my work more efficient, I'm just using my paper towels to clean up my pouring pitcher as well as silicone measuring cup. The next morning I filmed the reel for my Instagram channel, so if you want to be more connected with me, please subscribe to my Instagram. I'll be so happy to connect with you there. I know that this looks so weird, but I'm trying to protect my candles from sunlight because we have a lot of sun in our room. Here is a little bit of my bookcase tour, so I got them from IKEA. So here I have everything for my photography setup. Here I have all of my wax melt sample cavities and my actual wax melt that's just ready to go. All of my fragrance oil that I'm using, and the other 2 shelves is just for my candle containers. It's been 5 days since I poured these candles and I'm really excited because I can start to test them today. but I will start with only testing maybe 3 or 4 of my candles because I don't have a lot of rooms and I really want to make sure that the hot throw is really nice. So today I want to test my candles that I've been working on a couple of times, like this Venice Peach. It's like a second or a third test because I had to make sure that it's really performing well. And also the Fruity Pebbles, so I have to make sure that it's working nice as well. And I want to try today maybe the Mahogany Teak Wood. That's really nice and strong scent, so I want to make sure that it's performing good. And the hot throw and cold throw also the best as I can do. The Fruity Pebbles one I will test in my room because I really want to check the scent, the hot throw. And as you can see, maybe I have some problem with cutting my wicks not the same length. I think that this wig is a little bit shorter than the right. Leave a comment if you also struggling with cutting your wigs straight and the same length, because there are two and it's like more complicated than only cutting one. The Venice Peach candle I will test in my working room, so it's like on a huge table. The left wig is a little bit shorter than the right. Yes, I have to maybe cut with another pliers. And the third room is my kitchen slash living room. So here maybe you can see that also I have this kind of problem. I think that the left wig is a little bit longer than the right, maybe. So as you can see, the left wig is like 7 millimeters and the right it's like almost 9 or maybe 8. So yeah, definitely I have to cut this shorter. I have this kind of pliers. I guess that everything just fine. For now it's 7 and this one is also 7. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so now I think they're even, like 5 or 6 millimeters. I think that's the perfect length for every candle for first burn. So it's not too short and not too long. So the first thing that I do before I'm starting actually my burning test, I'm using my Good Notes app. So here I have my notes which called Cotton Wicks Test. Then I will be adding a date for today. And here I will add all my pictures and notes. Also I'm adding the hours that I'm testing. So I test always for 4 hours. So that's like my test for today. And the second thing that I need for my testing is a thermometer to just checking a temperature each hour. And also I have this kind of electrical lighter, so it's so cool. As you can see, you can just charge it and use it. And also don't forget to use your timer for 1 hour because I will be checking every hour. I want to tell you about all the things that I'm checking through my testing process. So the first thing, and it's really important, that your candle having a really nice hot throw and also the cold throw. The cold throw is when your customer putting off the candle lid and he can smell the candle, that it has such a lovely scent. The other thing is a hot throw, so when you're burning your candle you can smell really nice and strong scent, not overpowering and not so light in your room or in your living room. The second thing that you're testing is that your candle is not burning too hot. When your wicks isn't fit, your jar, your type of wax and fragrance oil, they can burn too hot, so the flame can be really high. Your jar or container can be really heated up to like really high temperature. We're slightly moving to a third thing that you have to check is a temperature. The highest temperature that your candle container or jar can reach is a 79 degrees. The fourth thing that you have to check is a melt pool. If your wax is reaching the sides of the container, or maybe it's tunneling, so it's like the wax just starts to create that kind of a hole around your wicks, and it can really affect your burning process, so the candle won't burn properly. And other little things that you're checking, if you're looking on your container or a jar, you make sure that it's not cracked because of the heat. Make sure that your wick is providing a nice even melt pool. The wick can just lean on one of the sides and overheat one of the side of your candle, and that's really not a good idea. So that's the first session of burning process and the end of the first hour. I'm just checking the temperature, which is not so high at this point. I really like to documenting everything digital because you can add your pictures, and that's the easiest way to compare everything and to understand visually what is working for you and what is not. They're kinda start to burn hot for this hour. The Venice Peach candle also had a mushrooming. It wasn't so bad, but I started to understand that from this hour it can be hotter and hotter. On my fourth hour, all my candles were kinda looked the same, but they had a different temperature, so the Venice Peach candle burned too hot compared to other candles. But if you're looking on the flames, they were so beautiful and there was no problem. And now it's time for a little bit of a conclusion. So my Fruity Pebble candle was performing so good, and the hot throw was really nice. It took only 30 minutes to smell the candle all around my room. The melt pool was really big for 1 hour. It was 98%. And so the Venice Peach candles, you can see it also had a really huge melt pool for the first hour, but also the temperatures, they reached 61 degrees, so that's really high temperature for first burn of 4 hours. The melt pool was also a deeper, and that's the only candle who had a lot of mushrooming. And now you can really compare and see what is the difference between Venice Peach and Mahogany Teakwood. So this candle burned cooler than all of my candles. It had really nice and small flames, but I didn't really know if I like that or not. Lately I decided to also test my another candles. From the first hour, I realized that the Baya cactus is really light scent. It took almost 45 minutes to just smell it around my room. Good morning everyone, that's the next day. I'm continuing to test my candles. So here I really wanted to show you what is happening if you're not cutting and trimming your wicks when you're having a carbon buildup, so it's called a mushrooming. It looks really scary, but after a moment the flame becomes normal. At this point you can see that the Venice Peach, as I said before, is burning so hot and hotter than all of my candles. At this point, I'm ending the Venice pitch test because the temperature is 80 degrees, which is more than allowed. So that will be the last session for my testing process, and what I want to say is that I want to size down my wicks for CDN4 maybe, and to increase the fragrance oil to 8%, and I want to make sure that CDN4 wicks will allow my candle to burn cooler as much as possible. I really want to increase the candle burning in these tents, so it will take at least 25 hours and not 20. Well, thank you for all of you who watched this video. I hope this video was helpful for you, and leave a comment in the comment section if you also using this kind of candle tents, because I think it's really popular size to use for your candles. I hope you're having a nice and efficient work day in your candle studio, and I will see you in my next video.